Hey ladies and gentlemen, Paul here again, and my mate up above, he's still hanging around as well. And we are here today with the fifth instalment of what is Sagacious Sundays. And last week on the fourth instalment we were talking, or we just entered the realm of karma and the law of cause and effect. And we did that with the saying of what goes around comes around. Now that saying is actually a third person perspective, so we're the spectators viewing something else. This week we're actually going into the first and second person perspective, and we're doing that with a saying I'm sure you've all heard: you've made your bed and now you've got to lie in it. Well, first of all, a little bit of history here. The earliest citation of this saying was from around 1590, so it's almost 500 years old. But it was presented slightly different because of Old English. And basically it was, let them go to their bed as they themselves shall make of it. Can't deny it's the same saying and pretty much exactly the same message. If someone says to you that you've made your bed and now you've got to lie in it, chances are they're coming from a somewhat unsympathetic, maybe even cold analysis and perspective that you've created this, now you have to suffer the consequences of your actions. Now, the funny thing is there's some beauty in this, and we'll get into that in a second. But first, I would like to say, put to you that there's another saying that's virtually the same meaning, just presented slightly different. You reap what you sow. I personally prefer that saying. The reason why is because it actually has positive connotations too. Can't just be negative. So if you reap what you sow, well, surely if you tend your garden nicely, it will bloom and prosper. If you don't tend your garden nicely, well, you might just have weeds. So, you don't just suffer the consequences of your actions, but you could also prosper from your actions too, if you reap what you sow. So be a good gardener, you'll have good fruit, good veggies, good flowers. Don't forget, what we put out into the universe will be returned to you. What you reap, you will sow. Now, we're still directly connected to the law of cause and effect. And as I mentioned before, there's some beauty in this, because we're now entering the realm of taking responsibility for our actions. So right now you're probably asking, what's the beauty in that, taking responsibility for your actions? Well, there's actually power in that. That's why it's beauty. If we take responsibility for everything we do, so for example, in the realization that I am responsible for everything in my world and my realm, I give up being a victim in all situations. And when I give up being a victim, I give up being powerless. Let that sink in for a second. By accepting responsibility for your actions, you actually take on power for yourself, the world that you are the creator of, the realm, the kingdom that you are the ruler of. Remember, in the very first introduction, we were talking about sovereign entities. So now we've done a full circle here, haven't we? By taking responsibility for your actions, there is power, and you reap what you sow. If you're a good gardener, it'll bear fruit. If not, you may drink from a poisoned cup, but the choice is yours, and you are now empowered. So this empowering realizations does come with the acceptance that I am the creator, I am the architect of all that I have in my life, be that positive or negative. And if you don't like what you have, well, then you need to do something different. Because who was it? Einstein. I believe it's attributed to Einstein that if you continue to do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. However, by taking responsibility, I am now empowered by choice that if I don't like what I've always got, I can do something different and change my life around. What you put out to the universe will be returned unto you. So, I suppose the question really is, what are you putting out to the universe these days? Are you taking responsibility? Are you stepping up to the plate and empowering yourself? I hope there's some nuggets of wisdom in there for you to contemplate for the next few days before the next edition of Sargacious Sundays. And I hope you have a great week, and let's chat again next weekend. Ciao for now, boys and girls. Paul and Dirawong saying goodbye.